Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to HTML Lesson 6. Today we will be talking about lists. If you have not watched the previous lesson on styles and attributes, I highly recommend you do so because we are going to be using styles today. So go ahead and watch that if you haven't, or you can try to figure it out. It's pretty easy. Styles aren't complicated, but I do recommend you watch that video. As I always do with videos, I am going to start with a question. That question today is, when should I even use a list? Now, funnily enough, I'm actually going to be using a list to give you the reasons why you should use a list. So the first reason is when creating a list like this one, or a grocery list, or a checklist. These are examples of unordered list, where the order of the items in your list do not matter. So a grocery list, you don't really care about how you order things off. It doesn't change the actual information there, which is in opposition to an ordered list, where you have steps to follow or are listing priorities, where the order is providing extra information. So like when steps to solve a problem, the order of these steps does matter, so you would be using an ordered list. The final example is a descriptive list. Now this is something you don't think about, but a dictionary is actually a list of words that are being described. Thus it is a descriptive list. A descriptive list can be either unordered or ordered. Now in the case of a dictionary, it is actually an ordered list because they are listed alphabetically, so the order does matter. Now let's start off with the easiest one, and that is an unordered list. So an unordered list really has only two tags that you need to know about. And that is the UL tag, which stands for unordered list, and then indicates the beginning of your unordered list. The next one is LI, which stands for list item. Now that indicates items in your list. So if we look at an example here, we have the UL tag at the top, then each item in our list is going to have an opening and a closing LI tag. So we have eggs, flour, butter, sugar, and then the closing tag at the end. Now if you look at the result, we can see we have bullet points separating each of the items in our list, which makes it better than trying to have to use line breaks and separating these and then making our own little symbol at the beginning. It makes it nicely formatted. Now if you didn't like these bullet points, which I don't particularly either, you could go ahead and change the style attribute of your list. So you say style equals list-style-type, and you can do a circle value here. There's a bunch of different list style types, and you can look those up, but I like the circle one the most. So this is going to change it to like a disc-like or a circle instead of this solid bullet point. So if we look at it, the opening tag is the only thing that changes out of this entire list. We say style, and as I said, here's the property and the value, and then the list items don't change, nor does the closing tag. Let's see how that turns out. That looks much better. I don't know why I like that much more, but I do. So this is an example of an unordered list. If we had an ordered list where the order does matter, say we were going to be making the steps to follow after we got the ingredients of how to cook these ingredients, let's go ahead and look at how we would make that. Ordered lists actually have a very similar tag to start off with compared to the unordered lists. Now, with unordered list, we have the OL tag as opposed to UL, which unordered list, ordered list kind of makes sense. And the OL tag, again, indicates the beginning of an ordered list. The list item tag will actually be the same for both the unordered and ordered lists. So let's look at an example here. As you can see, we have the OL tag, then list item tag showing the first step, and as you can see, it's shown as the first step, and each of the following steps indicated with a list item tag, just like an unordered list. Now, if we look at, if we want to change the type, instead of being 1, 2, 3, 4, we wanted to make it capital letters, we could do that. We could make it a capital letter. Now it's going to be A, B, C, D. And that's, again, in the opening tag only, so the list items are not changing, similar to the style change in the unordered list. Now in the OL, we're going to have another OL type is going to be Roman numerals, and now we can go ahead and change the Roman numerals. So as you can see, we changed the Roman numerals, and basically the same thing, just a different precursor there. So I, double I, triple I, IV, Roman numerals. So those are unordered and ordered lists. Again, you have the OL and UL tags indicating the beginning of an unordered or ordered list, and then LI indicating each list item. And you can change the styles or types of those precursors for each of those list items. Now the final type of list I want to talk about is a descriptive list. Now, a descriptive list is just going to be, again, like a dictionary. There are a couple different tags, actually. Similar, though, to the OL and UL, DL stands for descriptive list and is placed at the beginning. Now, a descriptive list is going to be made up of descriptive terms indicated by DT, and these are the words that are going to be described. Following the descriptive term, we are going to put our DD, which is our descriptive definition, and that indicates that we are describing that word or that term that we specified. So, if we look at an example, you can see DL, we're going to be describing the alligator, that's the term, and then DD is the description, right? And then antelope is a second term, and then the second description of our second term is indicated by DD, and then we have a third term and a third description, followed by a closing tag. If you look, oh, okay, that's kind of nice. It's got the word, and then on a separate line, it's got the description, and it's tabbed over to indicate that it is being described, which is kind of nice. So you can see we have all three here. And then what if we, this is kind of not clear what's going on here. What if we wanted to make it a little more clear, and we want to change this font type here and make it a little bigger, maybe a different color too, to indicate that this is the word we're describing, and then this is the description. So we can actually, if we change the style of the descriptive term, as you can see, we did font size 150%. We did the color blue. This is actually going to change this individual term. So we can, again, the style can be the style attribute can be used with multiple tags. Like really any tag can have the style attribute, or most tags can have the style attribute. And so you could do the same thing for the description if you want to change the color of the description or the size of the description. So let's look what that looks like. And as you can see, it makes it look a little bit more clear. I don't know why I did blue, but blue is nice. And now we can see the words a little bit better and the description is more clear. So that is a descriptive list, and as you can see, it's kind of similar to what an encyclopedia or a dictionary or a glossary would be like. So those are the three types of lists. Let's go ahead and look at a summary here. So we talked about when to use the three types of lists and what their tags are. On our list, we have the UL tag for the opening and the LI tag for each list item, and here you can see how to change the style. On our list is the OL tag, and then we can change the style with the OL type. Again, this is using LI. Both are using LI as their list item. Then we have descriptive lists, which have three new tags. The descriptive list opening tag, the term we're describing represented by DT, and the descriptive definition represented by DD. And these are being used when you want to describe, make a glossary, or a dictionary of sorts. So those are the list types, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.